sure everything. I guess all right. Bullshit. Yeah. Always some bullshit in the game. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Make sure everything all right. Okay, I'm back. I had to sign out because I was having some problems. There was music coming out of my speakers that I know that I didn't download, and I didn't know where the music was coming from, and I wanted it to stop because I didn't want to hear that bullshit. So I stopped the show to try to troubleshoot and find out where the music was coming from. I knew that my oldest son had spent the night in my home yesterday. He didn't spend the night, but he was over my house yesterday. And I left, and I knew he had done something that was causing this music to come out of my speakers. So I stopped the show to call him up and ask him what the problem is. He instructed me to take the jacks out of the back of my speaker, because he's got the CD player hooked up to it and it's playing Snoop Dogg and shit. Which I ain't got no problem with Snoop. I grew up on Snoop. I grew up on Snoop, but I didn't want to hear that right then and there. When I'm doing my show, I like Dusties. You dig? This show is for grown folks, which I will throw in some raps here and there, though. I will do that. I ain't scared to do that. But once again, for those of you that don't know, the number is 309-679-0487. And I guess I should say the topic of tonight's show. The topic of tonight's show is, have you ever been cheated on? If you want to call in and give your opinions, your 89 cents, and put some input into that topic, if you want to do that, 309-679-0487, 0487, 679-0487 is the number to call in if you want to call in. And when you call in, that'll be the sound that we will be hearing. Also, the trivia of today is, who was the first black Supreme Court justice? Who was the first black Supreme Court justice? That's the trivia of the day. And I believe when we left off, I had just finished telling the story of my second oldest son that was pretty much played by a young lady back in high school, in which he gave her some money for her birthday, and then he called her, taking another young man to Burger King to buy him some food that my son had given her for her birthday. Perhaps maybe one of you have had an experience like that, where the young lady cheating on you, or the woman cheating on you, hurt you so much to the point where it kind of, affected you. It affected you in a way. Hey, that happens. That's no real reflection on you. That's just a part of life, that happens. It's when we're young. I had an incident one time in which I had a girlfriend that cheated on me at the wrong damn time because I had been drinking. And I am not in no way trying to glorify my actions or my aggressiveness, but I'm just telling the story. I won't go into detail, but I was already in a bad mood that night. I had come to her home, and she was actually laying up. I don't know exactly if they were laying up because I couldn't see in the room. But turns out she had another boy in her bedroom, which was a boy that I had told him personally, if you mess around with my bra, ain't nothing I can do with what y'all gonna do when I ain't around. I can't be in all places at all times, but I will tell you this, don't bring your ass to her house. I did tell him that. And he was bold enough, or either stupid enough, to let her talk him into coming to her home and hang out in the bedroom that her and I hang out in. As you can guess, when I found out about it, standing outside of the damn door with the bars on the door, they made the mistake of making noise inside of the house while I heard them talking, and so I knew they were in there. Once I realized that bra was in there with another guy, I kind of flew off the handle. I literally tore the bars down from the door. And lucky for him, because I was drunk and feeling very, at that time I was bigger and muscular and I was very confident. I had no doubt that I would whoop his ass, and that was my feeling at that time. That's how I was feeling. This day and age, I wouldn't dare fight over anything like that, but that's the way it was back then. I was highly pissed off. Luckily for him, he shot off like a rocket out the front door and disappeared before I could get all the way in the house, but I did get in there. So that's just one incident. One incident of myself being cheated on. Needless to say, I didn't stay with her very much longer after that. And the only reason really why I stayed with her at the time, because I really didn't really take her that seriously anyway. I was more upset at this guy being in my territory. It was more of a territorial thing than it was me being crazy about her. Because with her, I could like take her or leave her, you know. I wasn't really all that crazy about her. I wasn't in love with her, anything like that. She was just too unserious of a person for me to be taking seriously. You know what I mean? So I didn't fly off the handle really because of her, because I was so crazy about her. For me, it was more of a territorial thing. I didn't like men in my space. You know, like lions do when they urinate in the areas, or cats do when they urinate. They mark their territory. But I was like a feline in that sense. I was the type of guy that would mark my territory, and I didn't like men coming into my space. Men or boys, where I chill with my girl, as off hands to other men. And that's just the way I felt about it. Let me see if we got any new viewers that has come into the room. I really hate that. I had to stop the show, start it back up again. Because kind of throws things off some. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have intentions on starting a Love Connection, but before I do that, a Love Connection segment, but before I do that, I needed more viewers. So I really can't run a section like that without the people. And once I get more viewers, I'd like to start a Love Connection segment in which singles will meet other singles that are perhaps compatible with them. If you are interested, I want you to hit me up on my email, which is themomanshow@yahoo.com. themomanshow@yahoo.com. You guys should be able to spell that by now. So anything you might want to tell me, or maybe suggest to me some ideas for my show, or you might want to do some critiquing, that's fine with me too. Hit me up on themomanshow@yahoo.com. And that's my email. Once again, the number is 309-679-0487. 309-679-0487, ladies and gentlemen. So, what I'm going to do right about now is I'm going to call, what time is it? I need to see what time it is. Yes, I do. I need to see. I am going to call up our guest speaker. Let's see if we can get our guest speaker on the phone, ladies and gentlemen. This is a young man that lives here in Peoria, Illinois. Goes by the name of Leroy Young. So without doing too much running off at the mouth, too much more talking, I'm just going to go ahead and dial this number up. This is Mr. Leroy Young, who is going to be our guest speaker for the night. He's going to he'll be giving his opinion on the topic of the night. And hopefully we won't have no problem with the young man answering the phone. Hopefully he will answer the phone for us, ladies and gentlemen. He is expecting my call.
Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Leroy Young, please?
This is.
This is Leroy?
No, this is Weather. What's up?
This is who?
Weather.
How you doing? This is Mo Man. Right now I'm on the air. I do a radio show. Leroy was expecting my call.
Oh, hang on, Marvin. For you, something to do on the radio show. Hello?
Leroy,
What up?
what's real, homie?
Who this?
This Mo.
Oh, what up, Mo?
You on the air, man?
Oh, what's going on, man? Got a little crowd going on here because I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, you leaving tomorrow?
You know, a lot of people ain't got no sense, so
What do you mean?
no, they don't know how to act with people on the phone.
Oh,
You know, it's a far cry to find respect nowadays, but
what you referring to the person that answered the phone?
no, I'm referring to people, period.
Oh, okay. They sound like they rubbing you the wrong way over there, brother.
No, that's my family.
Oh, where you going tomorrow?
Denver, Colorado.
Colorado. I've been to Denver before.
Yeah. Got
Yep.
some opportunities out there.
You going to stay?
Yeah, I'm moving out there. Got some opportunities that arose, and time for a new place and new faces, man.
Have you ever been out there before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. What do you think of it? You think you're gonna mix in just right, or?
I'm a big city person. I lived in a lot of big cities, Mo, man. So Peoria was just like one of the stepping stones in my adventure of life, and I've lived in stayed in New Orleans. I've been in Lincoln, Nebraska. Lived in South Central Los Angeles, St. Louis, Missouri, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a big city person, so a place like Peoria really doesn't thrill me. It makes me depressed being in here because the people in Peoria have nothing else better to do but to talk about what's going on outside the world and what's going on within the community.
Right. Well, it's a lot different here in Peoria. The culture is a lot different than most other big cities.
Right. And of course, being in a city like this, these kids aren't raised to expand their horizons.
Right. They will pretty much don't go no further than Peoria.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something about that expanding your horizons. What made me elaborate on that, and what made me think about traveling so much is I was on a bus going to Minnesota. There were some kids on the bus with their mom. They got on in Chicago, and we going through Wisconsin. And one of the kids jumped in his seat, yelled, "Mama, look, a cow!" Myself, I'm like, damn, that's the first time Shorty seen a cow?
Right.
So it just shines a little light on you. There's a lot of people that's less unfortunate that won't even get to see outside their city block.
Right.
Well,
ain't nothing wrong with traveling, man. Then you're still a young man, right? You're not even in your 40s. You're in your early 30s, right?
Man, I appreciate it, but I'll be 40 this year.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leroy Young is a man that looks a lot younger than his age. Y'all can attest to that. I've seen him several times.
Appreciate it.
I've seen him several times. We both live here in Peoria, but as he just said, he's about to leave. But and there's nothing wrong with that. We all have a time, but we must move on and try our hand at better things, And that may be a real good move for you, man.
Something I should have did over 20 years ago, man.
There you go. That's the way I felt about coming here to Peoria when I left Chicago. I felt like I should have came to this town 20 years ago. I didn't know this type of peace. It's boring to people that don't like boredom, but me, I don't mind the boredom because I'm sick of all the excitement. So Peoria's boredom was what I needed.
Right.
It was good for me,
Right.
So,
well, I ain't too far from the boredom. I like small towns and I like big cities. I'm a big city person. I call myself a hood Billy. I'm a hood Billy. I'm biracial, so my father's black, my mom's white. Her side of the family, hillbillies.
Yeah.
My father's side of the family's from the hood, so I'm a hood Billy. That's a term I coined myself, and it's trademarked, so nobody can take that.
Do you know, is there a hood in Colorado?
Oh, most definitely.
Really? So there's a black section of town in Colorado, huh? I mean, in Denver.
Yeah, it's like a major city for blacks to go and prosper, such as Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So there's opportunity there too?
Yes, sir. I got jobs waiting on me as we speak.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I might, if I wasn't such an old ass man, I might consider something like that myself.
Man, I learned, Mo, you only as old as you feel.
Yeah.
That's why I could get out here on the dance floor and I could outdance any of these kids in their 20s or teens. I can outsing probably the best of them. You know, it's all about the way you feel and present yourself and the way you take care of yourself. You know, throughout life. You know, a lot of stress will make you look old. I try not to, stress myself out, but of course I do get stressed because I care about others' well-being more than mine. You know, so
There you go. Are you a married man? You're single, or just have a significant other?
I'm divorced.
Or you're divorced? Okay. Are you single right now?
Yes, sir.
Do you have children?
No children at all, thank God.
No children. That's something.
And I'm not saying that in a bad term. It's just the way, I would love children, but the way the world is now, I don't want to have to go through every day worrying about what's going to happen to my child.
Okay. And what type of work do you enjoy?
I enjoy landscaping.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Young is into landscaping. He evidently enjoys working with your hands, right?
Exactly.
Will you be doing that out in Denver?
Actually, I'm going to be an assistant in a martial arts school, and I'll be doing some side jobs out there, trying to get my landscaping business going.
That makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, because Mr. Young is very infatuated with Mr. Bruce Lee, because on his Facebook page he's always always posting pictures of Bruce Lee in some type of stand or another. But you ain't by yourself, man. I grew up on him too. I love Bruce too.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how to do martial arts?
Yeah, I do. Since I was 13 years old, ever since then, I've been practicing.
All right, so y'all heard that. Whatever you do, do not put your hands on Mr. Young. He knows martial arts. All right, man. Look, before we get on the topic right quick, I just want to ask you this trivia, see if you can answer it. Who was the first black Supreme Court justice?
That would be Thurgood Marshall.
My man. And do y'all see how quickly he answered that question? You're right. You got it right. Thurgood Marshall.
I'm a black history major. I love black history.
My man.
I refused to take it in high school because a white teacher was teaching it. So.
Is that right? He didn't even really give it a thought. He just came right behind with the answer. That's the way I like questions answered on this show. And before you go, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, man. I know you got company. I just want you to give us your opinion on the topic of tonight's topic is, have you ever been cheated on before? And with that, we just gonna have to come right out and ask you. What about you? Have you ever been cheated on before?
Is the sky blue? Yeah, of course I have. Of course I have.
Was it a circumstance where the one that you have in mind? Was it a circumstance where it really wasn't that big of a deal? You kind of just went on and treated it like a Mac would, or did it turn into a big altercation? Like, did it get out of hand?
Well, I mean, it depends on the circumstances of the way the cheating goes, and it also depends on how the person discusses it once it's brought to their attention. When you discuss it with that person, how is it presented? Okay, now it can result in only two ways. It can result in a good way or a bad way.
Right.
A good way is somebody feels guilty. If the person that's cheating feels guilty enough, then they'll come to you and say, look, I did this. That's when nothing goes out of hand. But when somebody has to take their time, waste their time, and take the initiative to find out on their own, that's when things tend to blow up.
Right.
The theory has always been this. If you feel that you have to cheat on the person that you're with, obviously there's something in that relationship that's missing that you don't find in that person that you're finding in this other person that you run to.
Right.
I feel if you feel like you should cheat, just break it off. Go about your business. Tell them, look, I'm not feeling you no more. This is why. This is my reasons. And I think I like this other person. But people don't do that. People feel like lying is their only out option. The only way out of a situation is to lie.
I agree with you, brother. I think that's the best policy too. See, that's why I wanted Mr. Young on the show, because we've spoken on the phone before in the past, and he makes sense, and he speaks very well. Very good at expressing himself. And I want to thank you, man, for allowing me to call you up and you being on my show. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do it, but you did, and I appreciate that.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Anything I can do to help the community, my man.
And I want you to, will you still be having that same cell phone number?
Yeah, I'll still be having this cell phone number, and if anything changes in the process, I will keep you up to date.
Keep my number and keep in contact, man. I'd like to know how you're doing out there, and just keep in contact.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I'm gonna keep in contact with the show. I'll promote you too. You know how I do. So.
My man. I appreciate that. And with that, man, good luck to you, brother, and thank you for being a guest on the show tonight.
Well, thank you, Mo, man. It was a great opportunity and experience. I appreciate the thought.
Good luck, brother.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Leroy Young being nice enough to weigh in on the Mo Man Truth Show. And I very much appreciate that. Because he didn't have to do it, but he did. And what we are going to do now is we're at that part of the show, the segment of the show where I call, what we call Willie. And you guys know who Willie is, right? He's my uncle that is 2 years older than me. Sometimes he gives some input, some good input. Sometimes he gives some rather strange input. Either way, we'll find out what's on his mind tonight, right? So we're gonna find out what Willie has to say about fooling around. And as you know, usually when I call, okay, something going on. Hold on, please. Hate when this happens. I hate when I do things that have to make me. Because for once, without these glasses on my face, I really can't see all that well. I'm looking for the read down number that I can't find, so I'm gonna have to do it manually. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Bear with me, please. I hate when I have these slow drag moments like this, in which I have to slow up the show because of my, and I don't blame nobody but myself. All righty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm doing right now is this is our segment of the show where we call Willie, which is my uncle. And like I always say, he may answer the phone, he may not answer the phone, because Willie lives a carefree life where he's just in the streets every day of his life. And just like I said, he is not answering the phone.
Please leave your message after the tone.
He's very unreliable. He's very unreliable. And there's another number that I have for him. And I'm going to give this number a try. Perhaps he may answer this number. I swear every time I'm doing my show, there's always a lot of noise outside my door. It's like someone purposely hangs out outside my door every night when I do my show, as if they're eavesdropping something. The noise never starts until I start my show. There's always noise outside my door. All right, let's see if we can get this someone to answer the phone. If he doesn't answer, that's okay. If he answers, that's cool. If he don't, that's cool.
You have reached the voicemail box
and, ladies and gentlemen, no answer. I got an incoming call. Maybe that's him calling back. Let's see. Hello? 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 I don't know exactly what that was about. But I tell you what we will do is I will give this number out again for anyone that wants to call in and weigh in on the topic of the night. 309-679-0487. 309-679-0487. If you are tuning in and you want to give your 63 cents on the topic of the night, please feel free to do it on the Mo Man Truth Show. And the topic is, have you ever been cheated on? Okay, Should I try Kill Will's number again? Should I try it again? If you say yes, I will. If you say no, I won't. But since no one is saying anything, I think that I will. I'll give it one more shot. One more shot. It don't hurt. Never hurt to give something one more shot, right? I mean, what I got to lose? I mean, what I got to lose, right? 02. All right. We didn't try once with one number already. Then I tried again with another number. So now I'm going to try again with the first number. Maybe this time we'll get the man on the phone. Maybe so. I'm looking for the redial. There we go. That's what I need. That's all I need. The phone, looking at it upside down, I can't read the letters. The redial button was right in front of my face all along, but I couldn't read it because it was upside down. Ladies and gents, ups and downs, ins and outs.
Hey, what's up, Joel?
Hey, man, what's going down?
I'm working, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk right now. I'm working.
You working right now? You working at 9 o'clock at night?
It ain't 9 o'clock, man. I'm working on you, okay?
All right, Willie, holler at you later.
All right, I love you.
Love you too. Well, as you can see, we did get him on the phone, but he said he was busy, said he was working. I couldn't imagine what type of work he is doing, considering that he has not a job work skill in the world. I don't know exactly what it is he could have been doing, but we could probably use our imagination to come up with some things, right? So at this point, I'm going to give interested callers an opportunity to call in. And if you want to call in and weigh in on the topic of the night, which is, have you ever been cheated on? The number is 309-679-0487. In the meantime, it looks like what we are going to do is start to bring things to a close, ladies and gentlemen, because we can't just go on all night if we don't have any callers calling in that's interested on the topic, right? Y'all know Kenneth, right, who is a regular on the show. He called me earlier and said that he would be calling in, but evidently something must have come up, or perhaps he is a little too busy to call in. Kenneth, if you're looking right now, I'm about to end the show, so if you're looking right now, well, you go ahead and call in if you want to call in and give your opinion on the topic, because very shortly I will be playing Good Times by the Jackson. And when I start the Good Times song, everybody knows what time that is. That means that it's time to bring the show to a whopping close. That's right, to a whopping close. And with that, one last time, the number is 309-679-0487. 309-679-0487. In case any last minute callers want to call in. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to have to do is, I said what we're going to have to do is, you know what time it is when you hear that song. That means that it's been fun. It means that I've enjoyed myself. As every time I do this, I enjoy myself. I hope that those that tuned in enjoy themselves. And hopefully, in the near future, ladies and gentlemen, there will be more viewers, because that's really what this show needs, to spiff up things some, to make it a little more exciting. You know, as with any show, you need viewers and guests to call in and offer their opinions and tell what's on their mind and add some flavor and excitement to the show. So hopefully things won't always be slow drag like this. In the meantime, I will be working on that, trying to get more viewers attracted to the show so that we can get to that point. We can get to that status one day in the near future. In the meantime, what I need you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to take care, be good, make sure that you're being good too, and whatever you do, make sure that you treat others as you would like to be treated. Good night, y'all.